I became a stripper at 19 years old. And aside from me wanting to use the money from stripping to pay for my college education, for me to go into the field, it was a no-brainer. And the reason why it was a no-brainer was because I knew pretty early on there was a high level of sex appeal that I had. There was a high level of sensuality and seduction that I had that people had observed about me. And instead of trying to fight that, instead of trying to let society shame that out of me and demonize that out of me, I further leaned into it. And to this day, I literally have no regrets about doing so because I made a choice. I knew what came along with that choice, and I accepted the consequences that came along with making said choice. And ironically, Whor3 Which literally just had made a video about this, and it piggybacked off of the last video that I made. You only get two settings in this life as a woman: Madonna or whore. That's it. You're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a decision on what box you decide that you want to fit into. You cannot choose one and then you want bits and pieces of the other. I am someone that likes a lot of attention. I am someone that wants to be seen as desirable. I am someone that wants to be seen as sexy. I don't want to be seen and remembered by how I was of use in agency to people that are around me, right? I don't want to be remembered as a loving wife who made all of these sacrifices. I don't want to be seen as a strong, hardworking mother who gave her children everything. I want to be remembered as a woman who was smart, educated, goal-driven, ascended, in alignment, and using that to make the collective stronger, using that to make the collective wiser. And so I made that decision with all the good and all the bad that came with it. The shaming that came along with the fact that I was in college and stripping, and girls knew that I was stripping, and I ran for president for my class, and girls were saying, oh, what are you going to do? Put a stripper pole on the stage for your performance, for you to like give your statement, for you to become a nominee as the president. I had to deal with the rejection, with some men saying like, oh, like I like you, like you're cool, yada, 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 but you're a stripper. I can't take somebody, seriously that, is a stripper, was a stripper, etc., etc. And so I accepted those things. And I moved on with my life because I understood that you can't have it all. And when it comes to Ayesha Curry, this is the disconnect between the being married to one of the most successful basketball players to date, and then her saying that she wants attention from other men. Because I always get attention from men. My whole entire life, I've always got attention from men. I'm going to continue to get attention from men. Once I get into a relationship, if I get into a relationship with a man, things are going to have to take place where the amount of attention that I receive from men, I would have to make an effort to reduce that. I don't want to make an effort to reduce that because I like being the center of attention. I like being seen as the hot woman. I like being seen on that level of desirability when it comes to men. I don't want men to see me how they can use me long term. I don't want them to view me that way. So I'm never, ever giving off wife. I'm never, ever giving off mother. I'm never giving off Madonna. I'm never, ever going to give off Madonna to women. And for most women, that's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking when y'all are seen as one night. That's heartbreaking when y'all are seen as recreational use. That's heartbreaking when a man doesn't view you and look at you and say, how can I get her to prove to me to drain her life force energy? How can I make her sacrifice everything? How can I put her through pain and agony through childbirth and then not helping her raise the child? How can I create all of these things in her life to make me the center of attention? Because let's face it, Ayesha Curry, she's beautiful. And especially within the black community, she's the preference. Light skinned, light eyes, she's the preference. She's been the center of attention her whole entire life. And she was willing to give up being the center of attention to a man that she did not originally believe, because he didn't even believe it, and he didn't even want this for himself originally, that she was going to have to play the back to him, because he ended up becoming one of the most successful basketball players. That's what I'm not willing to do. That is what I'm not willing to do. And I understand and I accepted the fact long ago, I'm not going to become the Madonna when in reality, I want to be the whore. I much rather be the whore. I can admit that. And I can take all of the good and the bad that comes along with being perceived as the whore. Being perceived with being seen for recreational use only. Ayesha Curry never was in a predicament where she questioned herself or knew what she was getting herself into, to realize this is actually the choice that I'm making. I really want to be the whore, because let's face it, Ayesha Curry wants to be the whore. She does not want to be the Madonna. She has said this repeatedly, time and time again. She does not want to be the Madonna. She wants to be the whore. She wants to be the desired one. She wants to be the wanted one. She wants to be the most coveted one. When you're in a relationship with men, that's not going to happen. They're not going to allow that to happen. They may want you at first because you are desired, but slowly after that, they're going to make it about, okay, how can I make it about me? How can I put myself in the limelight? This is the reason why so many people got mad at Ayesha Curry when she lost weight. How dare you already be light-skinned? How dare you already have light eyes? And then now you want to be smaller, which is going to put more eyes on you. That's why men were pissed off over the fact that she lost weight. She was increasing her level of desirability because she wants to be desired. She does not want to be the Madonna. And she's realizing that after the life that she had before, with Steph, and at such a young age, she didn't get a chance to actually sit through and make that decision. I knew that fucking decision at 19 years old. I knew at 19 years old, I'm going to be the whore. I'm just going to be the one that men desire. I'm just going to be the one that men trick off on. I'm just going to be the one that men see for recreational use or just deal with on a short time, because I also don't like men on a deep level to want to be with them long term. And I do not want them to take away the things that I put on a pedestal regarding my life and how I see myself away from me. I'm always going to be vain. I'm always going to be the center of attention. I was raised the only child. I'm the only child. It always has to be about me. It always has to be all eyes on me. And I'm not giving that up to be married to somebody. I'm not giving that up to be a mother. It always has to be about me. Like Whor3 Which said, you have to choose. You have to choose what path you want to go down. And when you decide early on, like how Ayesha did, she met Steph and they started dating when she was 15 years old. You got to understand, in your adulthood, that's when you start paying attention and asking yourself, who am I really? What do I like about myself, and what am I not willing to give up? Ayesha does not want to be the Madonna. She has realized that after 20 years, she doesn't want to be the Madonna. She was the whore the whole time. And she's got the whore inside of her screaming to be let out of its cage, because she wants the desirability. She wants the freedom. She wants to be in the forefront. There's nothing wrong with that. She just understood and realized too late that that's actually the choice that she should have made.
Hey y'all, I'm the Sovereign Woman. Welcome back to my channel. Now, that video was a little bit longer than usual, but I have so much to say about her take. First and foremost, that is Queen Sovereign. I love her down. Her and I have so many of the same views about men, about life, about ascending higher as women, all of that. I mean, our brains are like halfway identical. I'm so serious. I don't, she's like my spirit sister. But I wanted to talk about this topic because I agree with every word of that video. Like everything she said, I agree 1000%. I don't personally like getting attention from men because the attention is very awkward and it's very weird. And my answer is going to be no. And so it's, you know what I mean? It's like, why even put myself in situations? I prefer to ignore them, not make eye contact with them in public, stuff like that. I go out of my way to not be bothered in whatever way that I can not be bothered. And it doesn't always work, but you know, so the attention part, I don't like the attention. She was saying she liked the attention. I fucking hate it more than anything. But as far as everything else goes, I totally agree. If I had to choose between being the Madonna or the whore, I would choose the whore any day. Now, a lot of you guys who are male identified are not going to understand that concept. And the reason why you're not going to understand if you don't is probably because you're male centered or because you've been brainwashed by society to care about what men want and to care about what people think in general. And when you are like myself or like Queen Sovereign, you have graduated from that. You've graduated from the need to please people, to care what they think, so on and so forth. It's going to take a lot of people a lot of work to get to that place. But if you truly understood male nature and understood the lies of patriarchy, the lies of religion, the lies of everything that we've ever been told growing up for the most part, it will be a lot easier for you to stop caring what men think. So a lot of women will hear us say, "Oh no, honey, I would choose to be the whore over Madonna any day. I don't want to be seen as a wife. I don't want to be seen as a mother." Because those are the two roles in which women completely erase who they are because they spend their entire lives sacrificing for other people. That's what they do. You're sacrificing. You're making all of these compromises. You are giving up on your dreams. You're giving up on your goals. You're giving up on the things that you really want to do in your life and with your life. Now, it doesn't mean that if you are a mother and a wife, you can't do anything outside of that. There's plenty of women that have whole careers and, they are also a mother and a wife. But because of the society that we live in, it doesn't matter how many accolades these mothers and wives gain. They're only going to be reduced down to their ability to keep a husband and their ability to be a mother. And whether you like that or not is your business, but that is facts. That's not my opinion. All you got to do is look out in society. No matter what women do, they're going to always judge you on, do she got a man? And well, what kind of mother was she? That's it. You could literally cure cancer and the world will reduce you down to being a mom or being a wife. That's it. And it's very unfair, but I would much rather be reduced down to, so I don't really have a problem with being referred to as the fun time girl, as it same thing Sovereign was saying in the video. Call me a fun time girl. Like whenever men say, you are not wifey material, I'm like, I'm not. I've never been wifey material. I did a video on YouTube last year, I think it was, when I talked about how being a wife is not a flex to me. If it's a flex to you, that's great. But to me, it's not a flex. Being called wifey material is more of an insult for me than it is anything else. Because you're not pulling the wool over my eyes. I'm not cooking and cleaning for you every day. I'm not fucking my body up to bring your kids into the world. I don't want to come home to somebody that's going to be nagging and negging me all day about this and that and this and that. Like, I don't want that life. Me being a wife is going to require me to have a certain mindset, and I don't have that mindset. I don't turn the other cheek. I don't believe in being with a man cheating on me and I keep forgiving him. My self-esteem is not that low. Like, I actually love who I am. I love me. So in order for me to love me, you're going to love me the way I love me or somewhere close to it, or you can get out of my life. I don't need you here. Whether you are a man, whether you are friends, family, I don't give a damn who you are, right? That's my legacy, right? As Queen Sovereign was saying, she want to be remembered as somebody who was educated, smart, all of that. I totally agree. And I don't mind, you know, being seen at whatever you want to see me as is your business. I don't care. But I am not sacrificing my happiness or my life for a man. I'm just not doing that. The moment a man starts to make my life uncomfortable or harder, they're gone. And I think this is why I never invest myself too much into people in general, because I know how fickle people are, especially men. And I know how quickly people change, how people switch up, people move away, people die, so on and so forth. Like, there is no point in me doing all of that. All of my time, effort, and energy will always go into me first. Me first. I'm always putting me first. Okay. I'm not wifey material. I'm not a mother. I've never wanted to be those things. I knew I didn't want to be a mother at the age of 7, and I knew I didn't want to get married when I was in my mid-teens. I was like, get married for what? Because I'm not seeing this work out for any woman. I'm seeing a bunch of women getting married and just putting up with stuff. Like, they're constantly being cheated on. They're constantly being dogged out in some way. Many of them have been getting their asses whooped. You know, a lot of them are living with diseases that they can't get rid of that their husbands brought them. Stuff like that. Like, why would I want to sign up for this? Because when I was younger, I thought getting married, sorry for the noise in the background. When I was younger, I thought getting married meant something. For the most part, I was like, oh, so when you get married, the biggest benefit to me in my mind was that you never have to worry about catching STDs because you have a faithful man and you never have to worry about that. As far as anything else goes, I didn't see the benefit. Like, I can work for myself, I can pay my own bills, I don't need a man to protect me. That's what I got a Glock for, stuff like that. So I'm like, I didn't see what other point there was or benefit to getting married. Maybe you could save money on taxes. Maybe in some cases you end up owing more just because you're married, because, y'all's income together puts you in a higher tax bracket, which means you get taxed more. So I'm literally like looking for benefits of getting married. And I'm like, unless you're marrying a rich man that's going to give you all his money, I don't see the benefit. I don't know how that's going to benefit me. But a lot of women don't understand this mindset because they've been so programmed to believe that their worth lies in having a man, having a husband, having children, being a mommy. And if that is your idea of happiness for yourself, that is fine. I have no problem with that. But that's not for every woman. And you guys are going to see, as time go on, more and more women are choosing the child-free life. More and more women are choosing to never get married or don't get married. They're not getting married again. And they're separating themselves from these ideas that tell women your worth lies in being shackled to a man. Your worth lies in how many babies you can pop out of your coochie. And, I don't want to be offensive to any of the mothers who have pushed babies out and who have wrecked their bodies in the process. But, like I said in many videos, a lot of us are not willing to do that. I love my body. My body is my temple. Like, the last thing I'm finna do is stretch anything out. Not my stomach, not my coochie, not the part between the place where women have to get stitched up. I can't think of the name of it right now. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to push strollers through the mall. I don't want to carry car seats up 12 flights of stairs. I don't want to do it. Okay? I'm not knocking anybody who does it at all. I'm not knocking you. My mom had to carry me in a car seat. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the importance of it, but I just like that we're heading towards a society where they're going to have to accept that every woman is not meant to be a mother. Every woman does not want to be tied to a man financially. Not every woman wants to get married, so on and so forth. And I'm glad we're moving to that future. They're doing everything they can to stop it and to cock block us or whatever, but it's not going to work because our numbers are growing constantly and consistently every freaking day in this country. And we know it's growing because that's why they're trying to fight so hard to take our rights away. And even if they succeed at it, it's still going to backfire on patriarchy at the end of the day. Because, like, you going to do force me to marry somebody that I want to marry? You're going to force me to have a baby? I tell people all the time, if I had to choose between being forced to carry a kid or unalive, I will gladly unalive. I would take my own self out the game, if you know what I mean. That's how much I don't want to be a mother. And it's not to say being a mom is bad. It's not bad for every woman, but it would be bad for me. I would be miserable. I would contemplate self-deletion on a regular basis because it's just not for me, right? And so when I think about how I would prefer men to see me, I prefer men to not see me at all. I prefer to be invisible. That would be like my top choice. But since that's probably never going to happen, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Then I choose, okay, then I'll be the woman that all the men want, but none of the men can get. How about that? I'll be that woman. That's more fun. It's more fun to be a tease, as they like to call me. Fine, whatever. Just stay away from me. Don't try to put your hands on me. Don't force yourself on me. Whatever. Just leave me alone. But yes, I am not giving into the Madonna complex at all. I'm the whore all day, every day. Say I'm ran through. Tell me I'm for the streets. Don't give a fuck. I have not cared for over 25 years. I have not cared for over 25 years. Trust me, I don't care what anyone has to say about me. Ever since I was a teenager, and I would be dancing to songs, saying shake that ass and whatever else, and people are like, how are you listening to these degrading songs? People ask me now, because I could go in there and turn on Killer Mike or somebody, and the song is saying drop that ass to the flow ho, and people get mad at me because I'm still dancing to it. And it's like, I like that song, so like what you mean? I'm gonna dance to what I want to dance. It's very funny to me, off topic, but it's very funny to me that people really come on my platforms and try to police what music I still listen to. Like, people are mad that I still listen to Chris Brown or that I still listen to R. Kelly. Like, I grew up listening to R. Kelly. You are not ever going to shame me out of still listening to the very music that brought me into this world to begin with. I ain't trying to be funny. Like, the music I literally was raised on, I'm supposed to just pretend like those memories didn't happen? Like, really? If you want to unsubscribe from me, go right the fuck ahead. Y'all should know by now, I do not care. When one leave, 50 more come the same day. Not tripping. It is what it is. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but like, right, y'all really be trying to police people. Y'all try to police our bodies, our choices, the way we dress, everything. It's crazy to me. But anyway, that's off topic. But yes, I definitely want to know what you guys think. What would you rather be, the Madonna or the whore? Because you can only be one or the other. You're gonna either be a woman that's sacrificing and losing herself in marriage or motherhood or whatever, or you're gonna be the woman that the men want to F, but no man takes seriously. And unfortunately, the men don't take their wives seriously either, because, the craziest part about it is the men will say they don't want the whore and they will marry the Madonna. And guess who they're absolutely going to cheat on you with? They're going to cheat on you with the whore. They're going to cheat on you with women like me. Right? They like women like me. I'm the type of women that they're going to be constantly after. Doesn't matter if they take you serious or not. I don't take anybody. These men don't even take themselves seriously. So that's something for y'all to think about. Now, I'm not saying you need to choose to be the whore. I just want to know where you guys fall. I'm very interested. I can't wait to go back to her video and read more comments as they come in, because I'm so invested in this. I'm so invested to see everything you've learned about life, everything you've learned about men. Now that you know the truth about men, and I'm talking about the ones that do, now that you see that their love doesn't exist and their validation doesn't matter because they can't even validate themselves. Now that you see that many of them are very insecure and they're always projecting their fears onto other women. Now that you see all of this, where would you fall? The Madonna or the whore? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. Fuck these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. Oh, go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your won't care if you're dead. And the psychics on TikTok are wrong.